Elçin Sangu's new remark about Bradley Cooper has sent the rumor mill spinning. Was it simply a polite nod, or did we just watch a door to something bigger swing open? You're watching Secrets Behind the Stars, and if you love the moments when Hollywood glances across the ocean and finds itself charmed by Turkish screen magic, you're exactly where you need to be. Settle in, because this story stretches from Los Angeles studio lights to the heartfelt rhythm of Istanbul romance. And it puts Barış Arduç and Elçin Sangu right back in the global spotlight they know so well. It all ignited when Bradley Cooper dropped by the Joe Rogan Experience and, amid the usual banter about career milestones and behind-the-scenes stories, brought up a surprising household obsession, Turkish series. He didn't present it as a passing curiosity, either. He spoke about his mother, Gloria Cooper, with the kind of warmth that makes everything feel more intimate, and he shared that she spends real time, hours and hours, immersed in a particular favorite, Kiralık Aşk, Love for Rent. He described her as a dedicated viewer who keeps returning to the same episodes, letting the romance unfold like a comfort ritual. What made everyone sit up was that Gloria isn't just fond of the show, she has a soft spot for its leads that borders on devotion. In her living room, Barış Arduç is the best actor in the world, the kind of praise sons tend to recount with equal parts affection and disbelief, and Elçin Sangu is the woman she likes a lot, so much that the line itself took on a life of its own once the segment hit social media. Why does that single phrase carry so much weight? Because when someone with Bradley Cooper's profile admires a Turkish star by name, even indirectly, it turns into a signal. Hearing him recall evenings spent watching Kiralık Aşk with his mother framed the series not just as an export success but as a genuine emotional connection strong enough to capture the attention of a Hollywood household. He even mentioned that Gloria watches in Turkish with English subtitles, something he found both charming and a little surprising, as if the music of the language itself added to the mood. The detail made it clear, this wasn't just background noise at home. It was appointment viewing. Then came the part everyone started quoting. Bradley said that when they watched together, he can't help but find himself drawn to the lead actress, Elçin Sangu, admitting, almost offhandedly, that woman really wins me over. Not a line said for effect, not a compliment read from a card, but a comment that felt spontaneous. In the celebrity chatter sphere, the sincerity of that tone matters. It's the difference between a headline that burns out by lunchtime and a story that keeps unfolding. There was a moment of comedy, too, and the internet turned it into a meme factory within hours. Bradley joked about the long, charged gazes that define Turkish dramas, describing how he'd step out to make coffee, return, and find the characters still lost in a wordless stare down, then realize it wasn't a glitch, but a stylistic trademark. The joke landed perfectly because it came with a sense of fondness, not mockery. Turkish audiences recognized their own storytelling rhythm and shared the clips with pride. Those extended, silent beats, two people holding each other's eyes while 1,000 unspoken feelings pass between them, are a kind of cinematic heartbeat. In Kiralık Aşk, those moments between Elçin Sangu and Barış Arduç didn't just build suspense, they created a sense of intimacy that pulled viewers inside the relationship. Let's talk about that chemistry, because it's central to why Gloria's enthusiasm resonates well beyond one living room. Kiralık Aşk became a global phenomenon in part because Elçin and Barış crafted a romance that felt lived in. Their exchanges, playful, wounded, hopeful, exasperated, were framed by performances that made a romantic comedy feel like a love story with enduring stakes. Fans in Latin America cried at the same scenes as fans in Europe. Viewers in the Middle East recognized gestures, jokes, and sighs as if they were their own, and across North America, new audiences discovered the show and found themselves unexpectedly invested. If you want a single image to explain the why, picture Gloria Cooper settling back into her couch, subtitles on, the familiar theme music starting up again, and that spark between the leads doing exactly what good television is meant to do, drawing her back, again and again. Naturally, once Bradley's comments spread, the spotlight swiveled to Elçin Sangu. The cameras were waiting at a red carpet event, the microphones were extended, and every reporter had the same question: what did she make of it all? Elçin, who has built a reputation for measured, eloquent responses, did not disappoint. She smiled, acknowledged the warmth behind the words, and said she wanted to pass her appreciation to Gloria through Bradley. Rather than turning the moment into a boast or a spectacle, she framed it as something beautiful and unexpected, something she was genuinely touched by. In a few sentences, she made the chatter feel respectful. The industry admires a star who can accept international praise with grace, and Elçin did exactly that. She added that the surprise felt delightful to the entire team, and you could sense the subtext. A nod to the community behind Karalik Ask, to the hard work of writers, directors, crew members, and co-stars like Barış Arduç, whose performance remains a cornerstone of the show's enduring appeal. It was the kind of response that invites more admiration rather than simply soaking it up. That subtle poise has followed Elçin throughout her career, whether she's navigating high comedy or layered drama, and it's part of why this moment landed with such a satisfying echo. And of course, once that echo was heard, the Whisper network started crackling. The entertainment grapevine buzzed with talk that international casting directors, particularly those building slates for digital platforms, had bumped Elçin's name up their lists. Agents and producers, always hungry for bankable global faces, paid fresh attention. The rumors, for now, are just that: quiet meetings, exploratory calls, scripts being floated, discreet interest from abroad. But those in the know will tell you that this is often how it begins. A spotlight moment, a tasteful reaction, and suddenly the room gets a little warmer when your name comes up. Meanwhile, another line from Bradley's segment lit up the fan base: Gloria's exuberant take on Barış Arduç. Calling him the best actor in the world sent timelines into celebration mode, and those celebrations were filled with clips that illustrate exactly why she feels that way. Barış has a particular kind of presence, effortless charm with a grounded undercurrent, that makes the camera linger. Opposite Elçin, the dynamic becomes more than chemistry, it looks like recognition. Their scenes often feel like two people who know the words to the same song, and audiences everywhere recognize the tune. So when Bradley recounted Gloria pointing at the screen with that decisive certainty, yes, that one, it wasn't just a cute anecdote. It was the confirmation of something fans have said for years. Let's zoom out for a second. Turkish series have been rising for a long time, and not just in terms of ratings. They've become cultural bridges. They carry stories about family loyalty, love tested by circumstance, hopes polished by patience. They move at a pace that allows feeling to breathe. That combination has created fervent fandoms across continents and languages. Karalik Ask rode that wave while also shaping it, and the enthusiasm from someone like Gloria Campano helps explain why the wave keeps rolling. It's not just the language or the scenery or the music, it's the way the genre asks you to sit with emotion. For viewers who've grown used to rapid-fire cuts and quips, the luxuriant tension of a long look, the warmth of a shared laugh, or the silhouette of two people finding each other beneath the weight of expectation can feel like a revelation. So what about Elçin's future? Did her gracious answer hint at anything? She didn't make grand promises or drop coy teases, but her tone suggested she understands the magnitude of this moment. The admiration of a Hollywood A-lister is never just a trending topic. It's a mirror held up to your reach, and sometimes it's the beginning of a new chapter. If a few weeks from now we hear that script readings happened, or that a director was impressed by certain scenes, will we really be surprised? Not really. The engine has started, now we wait to see where it goes. It's worth noting that the long stare joke, Bradley's affectionate ribbing, earned applause rather than defensiveness. Turkish audiences, long secure in the knowledge that those pauses carry the story's soul, treated it as a badge of honor. Watching international figures notice and adore the very traits that set these series apart felt like an overdue acknowledgement. In the Karalik Ask universe, those gazes are their own language. And when Elçin and Barış deploy that language, the world listens. Industry columnists have already been sketching out scenarios. Perhaps a crossover production where a Turkish lead anchors an international ensemble. Maybe a prestige miniseries with a director who values performance-first storytelling. Or a romantic drama built for global platforms, where subtitled viewing is a feature, not a hindrance. None of this is confirmed, of course, and Elçin remains careful, sticking to gratitude and respect for the audience rather than feeding speculation. That restraint itself functions like a calling card: here is a star who knows timing is everything. Let's not forget Barış's Arduç in this matrix of admiration. The glow that surrounds Elçin inevitably shines on him as well, and Gloria's enthusiastic stamp of approval has given fans another reason to revisit favorite scenes. Viewers shared compilations where the leads practically breathe in sync, moments where a half-smile serves as an entire conversation, instances where a touch seems to bend time. Bradley Cooper said he realized, while sitting next to his mother, that he was being pulled into those moments too. That's the point. This isn't just a local hit beamed abroad, it's a piece of storytelling that speaks a global dialect of emotion. At the heart of the whirlwind sits Elçin Sangu's response, which was everything it needed to be: thoughtful, appreciative, and calibrated to honor the people who brought her to this moment. She sent warm regards to Gloria, saluted the fans who keep Karalik Ask alive with constant rewatches, and reframed the conversation away from herself as an individual to the bond between audience and story. In doing so, she reinforced exactly why people want to work with her. Talent makes you visible. Grace makes you inevitable. So, was it just a thank you? Maybe on the surface. But anyone who's followed the business knows that polite gratitude can double as the first line in a negotiation with fate. Bradley Cooper's candid admiration, Gloria Campano's heartfelt fandom, and the timeless spell of Karalik Ask have combined into a rare alchemy. This is the kind of crossroads where careers pivot, not because of a single viral moment, but because that moment crystallizes a truth the audience already knew. As this story ripples outward, one thing becomes undeniable: Turkish series have transcended borders, not by accident, but by design, by committing to feeling as a cinematic virtue. And when Elçin Sangu and Barış Arduç meet in that space, the result is a love story the world can understand. Whether this turns into a casting announcement, a collaboration, or simply a renewed wave of international attention, the impact is already visible. The conversation has shifted. The room is listening. What do you think? Was Bradley's "she really wins me over" a spontaneous compliment or a signpost pointing to an international chapter for Elçin? Will Karalik Ask's legacy continue to open doors for its stars, bringing Barış and Elçin into the kinds of projects that bridge audiences as naturally as their on-screen chemistry once did? Share your thoughts below, and if you enjoyed diving behind the curtain with us, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for secrets behind the stars. In this corner of the internet, the whispers never end, and we'll be here to follow every single one to its source. Until next time, keep your eyes on the screens and your hearts open to the stories that travel farther than anyone expects. Because sometimes a living room in Hollywood turns out to be the best publicity a Turkish love story could ever ask for.